better.
Welcome to the C4 podcast. This is Christians interviewing Christians at a Christian camp. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Brandon.
And today we are doing a very different video than our normal videos. We have two special guests with us. Today we have
Andrew.
who was on our previous video, Andrew, Paula video, and
Dakota. Yeah, my name's Dakota.
that is Dakota Fudge. Um, Before we start, do you want to just do a little introduction of yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I've worked 3 years as summer staff maintenance under Andrew. And I've been a camper here and there in the past as well. But yeah, mostly summer staff. And yeah, I'm working my 4th year in maintenance. Yeah.
Very exciting. Thank you for joining us, both of you.
Well, you're welcome.
So today's video is so random compared to the previous videos. But today we're going to be ranking video games. We're going to be tiering them S through D.
Mm-hmm. So, as much as we've been focused on camp for all this kind of podcast so far, uh, with camp, there's sometimes needs and times of reasons to get away. We kind of talked about it a little bit about Andrew. We talked a little about that with Andrew in his podcast episode, where having those opportunities of just getting away and being able to recenter and refocus have been opportunities that we cherish and enjoy and help us get back into that service as well. So, as mentioned, video games as a hobby that all four of us share, and we decided that it would be fun to rank them in regards to like the tiers and qualities of how good these games are. We each came up with a list of 10 for each of us, and we piled them together. Some of them overlapped, and there were some common ones throughout. So we actually have 36 that are here on this list.
4 overlap.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm curious what 4.
Yeah, me too.
So, well, with that in mind, let's dive on in. So we're using Tier Maker for our uh, video process here. So it allows us to be able to pretty easily move and rank things as regards to games. Um, that in mind, these are kind of in there in a somewhat random order, in regards to the ordering of the games. So I think it might be just best if we kind of go in on the order that's here, unless we wanted to go by our favorites and then try to argue to the top.
Oh.
Whoa. Whoa.
There are some games on this list that I'm sure some of us have not played as well.
Oh, I'm no doubt.
Get over it. You're gonna enjoy the video, and this is our list. So here
there's
we go.
no doubt. There's no way they know my favorite game of all time.
And there's also I'm positive I put games that you guys may never have heard of, so it'll be fantastic.
I've heard most of these on this list. It makes me so old.
Right?
Yeah.
With that in mind,
Man, who put those? Did you put those on?
maybe. So with that in mind, I think we have our first contestant here with the Batman. So the Arkham games was one of our tens.
Was it a double one? Because I know I put it on there.
I could safely say, without looking, I don't remember.
So it's probably just me then.
Probably. So, do you want to talk about that game briefly, so that way everybody can know what that game is,
Oh,
or the
they're
theories?
they're so good. Um, First of all, Ratch Batman Arkham Origins, I don't count that in the list. The game was snatched by Warner Brothers. Rocksteady did all the work, and Warner Brothers took it and put their own thing together just to try to make money. But the Arkham games of Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, oh, first of all, they're voiced by, from my childhood, the Batman the Animated Series. All the voice actors are in that. So you got Mark Hamill, who's the Joker. Fantastic.
Such a good Joker.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
favorite Joker of all time.
You have,
Mm.
holy cow, why am I blanking on his name? The voice, Kevin Conroy as
Rest in
Batman.
peace.
He actually owns, not owns, but like the record of playing Batman. If you include his voice acting, he's the one who has played Batman the most and the longest. So very cool. They are great games, great storytelling, great gameplay, depending on who you ask. Good stories throughout. I think they build on top of each other, depending on who you ask.
Yep.
I'm looking at you. But I think we can all agree that the last one is probably the best one. And I think all three of them, they interlock stories of Batman together that happen throughout the comics. I know the last one did of the Red Hood, and they mixed a lot of stuff into that. It was really good. Is that a good enough
Yeah,
explanation?
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So since it's on your list, on our tier system so far, where would you
This is so
where would
hard
you
for
start
me.
here?
This is so hard for
I
me.
right.
We
Um,
can move the tier, like we can have the at the end. We can move some if we need to.
I
Oh,
would say for me, because this was lower on my list, it would be either a B or a C.
mm.
Interesting.
Is there a debate on that side of that going?
I was thinking A. The last one is just so good. I would I would put that if I could on the S tier maybe
Mm.
because it was that. But for the trilogy itself, I could see B. I could see B, but I feel like it's a solid A.
Um, I mean, it's definitely early yet. I think we're definitely going to have ones that are going to be going up and down as we go. Putting in a solid like, hey, here's the middle of the pack regards to now we have things to compare against.
Yeah.
Is it better than Batman? Is it not?
Has either of you played this?
I have
I know you haven't.
I've seen clips. I've not actually played it
I am
myself.
completely irrelevant in this game.
I've offered you to
He
play
he
them.
was actually gonna let me play it because I had an Xbox, and then I switched from Xbox to PlayStation
Uh,
because I can't deal with Microsoft. And I'm just being honest. And yeah, I was a goof there. But I believe they were really good games. I could see those games being very well.
Are we gonna have
Um,
like? We're not gonna have. There's only 4 or 5 categories, so okay, we're gonna have multiple and multiple
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes,
categories. Okay,
yes.
all
And
right.
then it's gonna be rating which one's better in the tier too.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Oh dear.
No,
whole nother element.
so I jest a little bit.
That's another podcast.
It doesn't have to be.
We first ranked them, and now we're ranking them in order.
Yeah, right. So I've been involved in a lot of different tier lists and a lot of different tier list making. I don't recommend tier it- on that same tier level of saying, oh, this one's better than this one. They're all at this level. I think it's the
Mm,
best way to go about it.
yeah.
Otherwise, we will be here for days.
I'm
Ever.
fine with that being in the B category.
B for Batman.
Oh,
Oh, hey.
there you go.
You know, just for that, I'd say it's in a B category.
Oh man.
I'm really gonna do that one next. No one's gonna know this one.
I know, which is gonna be great fun. So, I mean, where is it gonna end up?
I know where I would rank it.
Nah, that's fair. So, Andrew, what is our next game?
Our next game actually
Is one of
my favorite games of all time.
oh, it's right here.
It is Lunar 2, which they just remastered both of them. This is gonna get very. None of you are gonna know this game. I guarantee you, none of you know this. Oh, I hi. Oh.
He can't even speak.
So the first one, which is on the list, because it happenstance to be my favorite game of all time, which is look at this beautiful packaging. Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh.
look at that baby.
They look like a pack of like trading cards.
I guess thank you. Um, they are. This is the game that made me into the gamer I am today.
Hmm.
Um,
It's probably the 10th time I've heard that.
yes. So Lunar 2 is up. It was a follow-up to it. They did some other. It was a much longer game. This is oh, I should just tell you, it is back on the PlayStation 1. I don't even know if you're old enough to play that. You might be.
I am.
Yeah.
Probably not.
So, I got in so much trouble for playing these. My dad had to take the power cord a couple times, punish me. But I used the VCR to still play it.
Oh wow.
Lunar 2 is up. Um, of course, the first one is the one I played, and I have fond memories of that. Lunar 2, um, is further down on my list, but because I will start this because of none of you know the game, I'm going to rank it as an A tier
Mm,
because it is not my favorite game of all time, but it is up there.
mm.
It is probably my top five.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Um, with that in mind, style of gameplay.
Okay, it
That might help you
is.
with some
It's
of that too.
old school JRPG.
Yeah.
So your turn-based RPG.
Yep.
It's very heavily story-rich.
Yeah.
I just found out because I've been Googling a lot of stuff with the remaster that they just came out, that when they launched the first one in America, they actually made it harder than it was in Japan. Did not know that. So you got to do a lot of old school grinding and things like that. So very old school JRPG, turn based. For those of you who don't know turn based, there's a new game out called Expedition 33. Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So if you play that one, you might get an example of what turn based is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think A's. I actually think A's pretty solid for that because realistically, I think those kinds of mechanics we're going to see pretty heavily throughout the rest of this
We
list
are,
too.
we
So.
are, and the other you got to remember the day, like the era that these came out. It was very different back then. Like
Mhm, mhm.
that was kind of how you played those style of games.
Oh, absolutely.
When we get to another games down the list, they kind of revolutionize gameplay on things like that that I'm thinking of. So we'll get there.
Oh yeah, we will. We will. Yeah, no, I think keeping it there for A is pretty good for now. I think we'll have once we get through the list, so I just whether or not it stays there or not. But I think for now, A's good spot.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dakota?
I think because I haven't played it, so I couldn't say like, oh yeah, this is a good game. But from Andrew's perspective, I put it A tier.
Uh,
I
uh,
trust his
Yeah,
his
and I
judgment.
think part of it also is telling that in that time and in that place.
Mm.
I think it was kind of where that A kind of goes. If we were to look at games, has that game lasted in that spot to now? Maybe, maybe not. But at the same time, I think for now, as we're getting going, I think A is pretty good.
Once again, I'm irrelevant, so we'll put it in A. We'll go with A for Andrew. How about that?
Sure. Oh, you're coming up with these pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of
I'm
have to
curious how
with
you're
being
going to do the
irrelevant.
next one.
Right, right. Well, actually, if I remember right, this next one, the Super Mario Brothers, is actually on your list, if I remember right.
Yeah, it is.
On his list?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on mine.
Which one is it?
So this is on. So I was specifically thinking about the DS New Super Mario's
Oh.
Bros, but I'm
Interesting.
pretty sure this also came out on the Wii, right?
Yep. The Wii,
Are
the
you
U.
you talking the 3DS?
Yes.
Okay, because
Yeah.
it didn't come out on the
Sorry,
DS.
I didn't have the. Yes, I had a 3DS.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So
It's
yeah,
okay, I know what you're talking about.
So is
yeah,
it the same one that came out on the Wii?
Yes.
It's the same storyline.
Yep.
I
Okay,
believe
yeah,
so.
yeah,
Yep.
that one, yes, that was.
So I picked that one because that was the first ever 3DS game I had,
Oh.
and I believe it also. Unfortunately, it was not a bundle, so I had to pay extra. Well, it was a Christmas gift, whatever. Now this is the first ever 3DS game I had, and it was also the game that made me rage the hardest.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
I don't know what it is about
Good start.
Mario and
Good start.
water, but the puffer fish. I
Oh.
wanted to throw the DS out the window. Like it was so frustrating. But I remember I was going through like DS games, and surprisingly, the one that made me rage the most is my favorite because that was the one I played the most. It was my very first, and usually if you rage at a game, you have some sort of connection that makes you rage. Like,
Mhm.
because my whole thing is I wanted to pass the level. Like, I was committed. I liked it. I wanted to do well. So, yeah, to put it on a tier, it's hard because I haven't played the two games we just talked about.
So curious what you would like.
So, I guess New Super Mario Bros. Is going to go on my it's our list. I will put it on B for now for
Okay.
brothers because that's what we all are in Christ. Made the connection. Made the connection. There we
Perhaps off the
go.
background. Uh,
That's where I would put it.
fair.
Not playing the first
I
one.
think I think B is probably fine for it.
I am so glad you put it there because that was the highest tier I was willing to go with it.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I have other games that I put on there that I'm putting in A that I like. So.
Yeah. So for me with Mario, I think they're good games.
Mhm.
They're all the same to me. And
Mhm.
I know we can disagree, and we're going to,
Mhm.
but when you have
Some of
played
them.
the original Mario Brothers,
Yep.
and then you're going up to this, they really only it's the same premise.
Mhm.
They've really only changed some mechanics.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
So, so I'm comfortable with B because I still think it's a good game.
I'm comfortable with B too, though. Yeah.
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 Nope. Yeah, absolutely. So the next one is mine, and I bet it's a game that nobody's heard of.
Is it a Tails game?
No.
Oh.
So this game is Doki Doki Literature Club.
I've heard of it.
Okay, thank you. For those that are unaware of this game,
Is it a horror game?
yes,
Yep. See, I've heard of it.
yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
So,
D.
it has some horror aspects to it. The gameplay itself, it gives off the impression that it's playing as like a dating sim game.
I know exactly what it is.
Interesting.
It's on Steam.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen it.
Um, and for a long time, it was a really interesting, 'cause it has some pretty interesting twists in it that are um, very surprising if you're not aware of it.
Mm.
Oh.
The story-rich game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You're basically playing a story and making
You,
decisions.
you're playing a story and
Yep.
making decisions. You're trying to progress the storyline, and it becomes very obvious when the story begins to go south.
Mhm.
And
I think it's even like the ratings on Steam are very popular.
mhm,
Yeah.
it
So
wa-
I'm not surprised.
it was huge
Yep.
when it first like released, and a lot of people like would actually play this just to react to it.
That's the only one I was concerned about. I think I know all the other games.
However, once you know the gimmick,
Mm-hmm.
you would play it once and done kind of thing. It does it have replay value? Sure, for those that are like hardcore invested into it.
It's a one and
Okay.
But
done
it's
game.
basically a one and done game. So
So
I
the
would put this on
mm,
the D one
okay, yeah.
because I think it has a really fun or really interesting concept for like that one initial thing.
But the story never changes no matter what you choose.
The story changes regards to which character you're following, but the main story is the same all the way through.
Okay, I'm following.
So like there are a couple unique scenes depending on what path you choose, but
I always-
ultimately you still get to the shock factors.
Did you ever play a game called Catherine?
No, I did not.
Okay, then never mind. We'll go there.
So
I am
Just
comfortable with
sounds
that.
like a that sounds like a creepy game.
I don't think anyone in this room would actually play it. I don't think
What?
anyone in this room would actually like get beyond like the first 5 minutes of seeing the game and be like, "Oh no, I'm not definitely not playing this game." Just for what it's worth. But
I've heard of it.
I think it's like interesting enough, shock value enough that it was going to be worth mentioning. I didn't expect to talk about it this early in the video, but that's just what it is.
I again never played it, so I will go D for one and done.
Oh,
Also, it's
nice.
horror, and I'm not really a fan of that.
I'm not
Okay.
either. That's honestly, I think, one of the reasons why I have never played it because I have
It
looked
would
at it.
scare me.
I don't like to be scared. That's why I don't play BioShock. I've heard great things about it, but the very opening scene freaked me out and I turned it off.
Okay, this is not on here.
That's fair.
But did you ever play Five Nights at Freddy's?
No.
Same reason, probably.
See, I played that game. I didn't find that as scary. Although, okay, when they released it on the Oculus,
Oh, that just made me
that
sick.
was terrifying. If you don't know what it is, it's like the virtual reality thing where you put the headset on. That was scary.
I bet.
Because that was like right in the face. Anyways,
Anyways, the next one on the list was also one of mine. This was Pokemon Red.
Oh, this is a great. That's my childhood.
hmm
I had it. I might still have it.
hmm
Do you have it?
I actually just recently got rid of it because, yeah.
No, what did you have it on?
Uh,
Did you have it on the Game Boy Color or did you have it on the Game Boy?
I had it on both. So my dad had a Game Boy. And so however, when I first got introduced to it, it was introduced to me by a friend of mine who was playing on a Game Boy Color.
Uh,
They had gotten blue,
yeah. Oh,
and so I got introduced to that. They were like partway through, and I got to play a little bit of it. They chose Bulbasaur as their starter,
oh, of course.
and I got to raise it to enough where it was about to evolve, and I'm like, oh no, what do I do? No, don't want this to evolve. So it took a little bit to get there, but Red was actually the first one I actually ever completed
Oh,
in regards to
nice.
Pokemon, which is actually really funny because my parents didn't actually allow me to have Pokemon until like high school.
Should we put this on the web?
And they know. I
Do
got
you remember how old you were?
yes.
The only reason I ask is because I remember how old I was, and I'm guessing I was older than you when you started playing it because it came out. It was huge when it came out.
It was huge when it came out. I was 7, 8 when I first introduced to
This
it.
makes sense. I was probably in my teenage years, and I played it, and I was able to get both red and blue, and had the
Mhm.
link cable, and could switch them back and forth. And then eventually people would, use the Game Genies and put in Mewtwo and all that stuff. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's good stuff.
So, like realistically also effectively spawned a legacy and is now like mainstream in regards to like
You are not
things.
kidding.
So I would put this relatively high.
Yeah.
Um, it wasn't my first video game, but it was relatively close.
Mm,
Um, I would go between A and S, just because of its popularity stuff, right?
First S consideration. I mean, we are
But
only 5 games in, so.
I would be content putting it at A, but I think it definitely has that potential to be S in regards to it's also very open to if we go just beyond Red and go to the generic Pokemon games main
I mean,
series.
it was super. I mean, yeah, Red and Blue came out, and then
Mhm.
they came out with Yellow,
Yep.
which was awesome. You had Pikachu follow. My best friend had that game, and I
Mhm.
was super jealous of him. I think that was also the first one technically in color. And then they redid Red and Blue in color.
We also technically redid Yellow with Let's Go effectively.
Did they?
Yeah, Let's Go Pikachu
Oh,
is effectively Yellow.
is it really?
Yeah.
I never played that, but cool. I am fine with uh, either one of those, to be honest.
I'm gonna slide it there because we don't have an S yet.
All right.
Unless you're thinking no.
How are you feeling?
Dakota, did you?
Pokemon has a I never really played it
Sure.
that much, but we did have on the 3DS Ultra Sun and Moon,
Hmm.
and it was a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see how that one can be a good game. So I'm actually
Yeah.
quite okay with
I'm perfectly also good with saying Pokemon as a series
Yeah.
versus just Red.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
because realistically, was Red the starter to that series? Yes. But have
yeah.
they also done a lot of different things with it
I mean,
too?
I remember
Yeah.
playing, was Diamond, I think,
Mhm. Yes.
upstairs when I was summer staff.
Mhm.
So we're talking, I was over 18.
Yep. Diamond was actually the first one I was allowed to own.
What was that on the DS?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the first one for the
Yeah.
DS.
They were good games. I mean, those are classic. Those are turn-based games, and I'm a big fan of turn-based. So, yeah, I'm fine with that. How about you, Caleb?
I never played it.
Have you
I'm
played?
starting to realize maybe I shouldn't be in this.
Oh,
I'm not sure if I should be in this video.
this was your idea.
But you gave it an S. I will give it a yeah. I'll give it a yes, sure, as well. I'll give it an S for Sons of Christ.
Okay. Okay.
I was pulled out of nowhere.
That one was not as good. My other ones I thought were good though.
Mm.
But yeah, I was never into Pokemon. That's just the type of games I never played.
That's fair.
I know.
Mm.
You're a sports games guy.
Not that
As we'll get to.
Yes, we will get to.
All of mine.
Take those.
This next one is actually mine,
Yeah.
unless we overlap.
I don't think so. I think the one is just yours. Top spin.
Open it.
Top spin on the original Xbox.
Hmm Pulls out the game.
I do own it. Um, I loved that game. It actually is very much because it's my brother owned it.
Mm.
And anytime I would go visit my brother, I would play this game on his system. And not tooting my own horn, I was good. I
Sure.
actually have in the game that I played there, I have never
Oh,
lost. Um, and even with other challengers I played, there was one guy living in his house, and we made a match, and he was like, "I'm gonna get you," and I don't even know if he actually made any points. So, but
IGN says it's the best tennis game ever.
back in the day,
Yeah, right?
actually, it might still
It's
be
like because they stopped
because,
making them.
well, Top Spin 2 wasn't all that great, and even the sequential ones after that, but
PGA Tour.
it was. I think it's more nostalgia for me, just because of my brother and what it meant with going over there and playing with my brother and all that. So if I'm gonna rate it, I'm okay rating it low of like a C or D as well. I
Yeah.
mean, it can be in the D tier, and I'm perfectly fine with that. This is the only sports game on my list, which is very surprising because I really don't play sports games.
I think C is actually a really good spot for that. Because realistically, it's that nostalgia of playing with people versus the actual maybe game itself.
Yeah,
Mm,
It's because it's less the yeah. I think that having that nostalgia category with that,
that's perfectly fine
I
with
think
me.
is really good there.
yeah.
Yeah, I never played it, but it's a sports game, so I'm sure I would like it. But it's also, no offense, it's also tennis. So
Tennis.
like if you like tennis, I'm glad you do.
I played.
Tennis is not for me, so I don't see myself really even picking up the game. But I would try it because it's a sports game, and that's what I'm all about. So I guess,
You look at it the competitive aspect of
yeah,
it
I
more
would
than anything
look
else.
at it. I'd probably be like your friend. Oh, I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I C is probably appropriate.
C for competitive. Ooh,
There we
Hey!
yeah,
whoa!
the trend. Now it's Andrew's turn on the next game.
Oh,
If it doesn't match,
Oh, I don't know about this one.
I
What I mean is, I don't know how I can do it.
so
Like, I know where we would.
I already know whose game this is. This next one, and I'll let them talk first.
Okay.
But
Who put it on the list?
I believe it was Dakota.
Did anyone else choose this one?
No, but I'm
What?
glad you did. It's a great game.
So
uh,
talk about it, so then we can all drool over it when
so
you're done.
I also had the benefit of seeing your guys' list first before deciding mine.
Oh, so would you have put this on?
I probably wouldn't have still, but I just for
Oh, okay.
reference, I
Okay.
did see your guys' list
I can
first.
honestly say this would be in my top like 15, 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
it's good.
So what is the game?
All right. So this is Spider-Man. It was the newer one because there's been past Spider-Man games that have come out, which I've not played. But I think Spider-Man is probably my favorite superhero, or definitely like top three. And playing it, being able to just be in Spider-Man's shoes, they did such a good job. Just like the city, the Spider-Man's character, the
The
story
s-
was just I
Dude.
loved it so much.
It's gut wrenching.
It is really like I don't think I've cried in a game before except this one, just a little bit.
I can
Um,
understand that.
but yeah, that it was really good.
Spoiler free zone.
Um, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. You gotta try it. If you love if you enjoy Spider-Man, just pick it up. It's
It's the most recent Spider-Man. The
Mhm.
actual title that you would look for would be Marvel's Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man 2 was a fantastic game, and you all should try playing it sometime. Um, oh man, I spent so much time on the GameCube on that one. But I will agree, this one is by far. I don't know if I could say the best Spider-Man one because I've played Spider-Man 2. Have you played that one yet?
no. Yeah.
The
So,
newer Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
huh?
The newer Spider-Man 2?
The sequel to this. There's
Yeah.
this one, then Miles, and then they're making these into a trilogy. So honestly, when they finally make a third one, it will probably be one of my top tier trilogies. Probably my top trilogy of games. They are. I agree with you that they should be on this list. What do you want to rank it?
It's S tier for me, but
Ooh.
if the story, the fighting, like just all of the mechanics in general come together to make just a fluid, really fun playing game. I I don't know how.
I would put it in A
Mhm.
for Aunt May.
Okay.
I I would put it in A because I agree with like almost everything you said. The story is amazing.
Have you played it?
Yes. The second one might be even better, which is why I'm putting this one in A
Oh,
because the sequel might be. But for this one, for the first one, I'm gonna give it an A. High
It's
praise.
definitely A tier.
Like Dakota said, if you haven't played it,
It,
try to. It's
it's
so
definitely
worth
A
it.
tier. Like when they make a third one and kind of do the closing series to it, 'cause I
Yeah.
think that's what they're doing. I think all three of them could go into an S tier, pretty easily because they are great. I mean, I agree with Dakota. The world and everything is great. Like, uh, the way he talks to himself. Oh, yeah, it's good.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll go for Ant-Man. Yeah,
There we go.
A for Ant-Man.
Uh, so then do you want to follow up with the next one as well, right? The Nintendo Land.
Yes. Oh man. Okay, so I grew up on this. There was the first system that we got, my dad got on launch, was the Wii U, and which was kind of a bad mistake. He recognizes that.
No,
No one knew.
no.
So that was a little sad. But because we got definitely our game's worth of the Wii U with the Nintendo Land. We would play it as a family. There was five of us in the family, and it supported five people to play, which was awesome. It was like kind of one of a kind in that route, but it was basically Nintendo Land is putting together a lot of Nintendo's famous video games into like mini games in a way. It's like a party, essentially a party game with different uh like different uh, how would you put it, like uh games in itself, but it's
Mini
got,
games.
yeah, mini games. It's got Mario, Luigi's
It's
Mansion,
kind of like Wii
Metroid,
Sports Resort,
Zelda.
but instead of like the Wii Sports Resort, all those game options,
It's like the Wii
it's
Sports for the Wii U.
for the Wii U.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
That's the best way I could describe it because I think it came with the system.
think so. I
Yeah,
think so.
because I know I have it, and I would agree with a lot what you're saying. Um, it was probably the most played game with my family. Well, that's probably not true. With my family, it's true, but probably not the most played game on the Wii U.
Okay, okay, gotcha. I'd agree with that. Definitely agree with that. So yeah, great party game. Always played it with other friends.
Where would you rank it?
I would put it. I'd recognize it as like a B or C. 'Cause it's a great game with other people,
Mm.
but by yourself, you're just not gonna play it by yourself.
So maybe C for competitive.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good.
There are games that are maybe better in competition with each other versus or with other people. Playing with other people. Maybe co-op is probably the better word
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. Oh, no, it's got some competitive stuff to it. I don't know. Yeah, C's good. C's good.
Oh, we're gonna hit more of those type of games.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think I know who they all come from.
Some of them.
Yep.
Next up we have NASCAR,
Oh,
uh, which was the I can read it. Inside the line or something like that. Inside
Yeah,
lines.
so this was on my list.
Yeah.
I can already hear the comments, the hate, NASCAR is boring, whatever. You probably play golf if you like don't like NASCAR. Anyways, how do I explain this? This was the first ever NASCAR game that I owned, and growing up, my dad would watch NASCAR, and so I watched it with him. Um, this came out on the Wii.
Mm.
Um, and it was one of the NASCAR games where cautions were actually cautions. If you don't know what a caution is, it's basically like when a car crash happens, like on the track. This was one of the only games where it would have cautions when cars actually spun around. Most of the NASCAR games don't have that for whatever reason, which is a big part of NASCAR, so it makes no sense to me. But I really liked about this is when you got in a car crash, you saw the damage on your car
Mm.
and it looked like you hit like the wall or another car. So it was really cool. Um, and it had one of the best soundtracks of any video game I've ever played. It had Three Doors Down. It had um, what's the band? Green Day was on it. Nickelback was on it. Um, Simple Plan was on it. I don't know if any of you know any of those bands, but they were basically like 2000 rock bands. Um,
That's when I was a teenager.
so you know them.
Yes.
I didn't know. So guys, Andrew knows the songs.
I do.
Um, but yeah, it was just, and it's nostalgic for me.
Sure.
That was a childhood game. That game made me like NASCAR games and made me want to keep playing NASCAR games.
Sure.
So I would now, where would I rank this? This is in my top 10. My
Uh-huh.
Caleb Christian top 10.
Yep.
4 games.
So what you don't know is that off screen here, Andrew Harding is also here watching us, making sure that we're doing a good job here. And
Yeah,
he's rating this one S tier by
Andrew,
far.
Andrew, Andrew Hardings is our media person this year and our photographer, so he'll be on staff this year, which is awesome. But yeah, he's basically like our mini producer here today. Me and him bond over NASCAR, so I'm glad he's here. As for back to the ranking. As for a game, it's probably a D. Because if you were to put this with all the other games, you're probably like, what the heck? Why is this even on the list? It's one of my top 10 games, but I totally understand putting it in the D because it does not offer much other than the racing.
Yeah.
You can you can paint your car different paint schemes.
So for me, I had one NASCAR game growing up on the PS2, and
What was it called?
I
Was it like NASCAR Thunder?
you probably something along
I
that
only
line.
ever owned one racing game. I'll tell you what it is after he's done.
With that NASCAR game, we very quickly found a cheat code to be able to launch tires as paintballs, and so that's what
Not
the
a
game
NASCAR
became.
game.
Exactly, we would launch tires at things and knock them off the course or at each other. It was fantastic that way.
Actually, that's two games that I've owned that are racing games. Is Mario Kart, the original on the Super Nintendo and Double
Hmm.
Dash.
Yep.
And then the other one that is more like this is Gran Turismo. Did you ever play Gran Turismo on the PS2?
I
Gran
never,
Turismo 3. I very much enjoyed that one.
I never
It's
played
really
it.
the only racing game I ever played.
Yeah, I've never played it on the PS2, but I've played Gran Turismo before the game, and I've watched videos of people play it on the PS2.
Mm.
So I kind of get like a
Yep.
feel for it. Yeah, this is going in D. It's not going higher unless Dakota really wants to put it in C.
The only time I've ever played a NASCAR game was with you,
And guess what? You had
and it was actually a lot of fun.
exactly.
But I think I think Tira.
This is going in D for Dakota.
Wow.
Oh, or okay, we could do that. D for Dale Earnhardt Jr., who is on the cover of the game. If you don't know who
Oh,
that
there you
is, thank
go.
you, Andrew. That's why he's here.
There you go.
The next one on the list is Civilization 6.
Oh,
Um,
this must be you.
yeah, it was me. Um, I was in college when it came out, but I had a bunch of friends that were all kind of into that kind of gameplay style.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all kind of picked it up at the same time
Mm-hmm.
and would play against each other with that. So you never played any kind of civilization games. It's kind of like Risk, but you're your own country and you're trying to take over the world.
Oh,
That's a great way to describe it.
I'm
Um,
so bad at Risk.
Strategy
yeah,
game.
it's a strategy
That's
game.
why I'm
It's
bad at it. If you
effectively
know
like
who I
round
am,
based, so
I don't do
everybody takes their
strategy.
action on a round and then
Yep.
it goes on to the next round,
Yep.
kind of thing. So, diplomacy is huge with that. There's also a bunch of different minor things as well. We actually ended up getting some to a point where we were able to. We played it so long there were mods that we were able to put into it to be able to be different civilizations of our creations. Um, so I played a lot of Civ 6, and so that's why I put that one on there. But I also really kind of group this in with like Age of Empire games kind of ideas, similar vein. Specifically, Age of Empire 2. That was one that I played growing up a lot because it was at the library. If I want to go to a library computer, I could play Age of Empires 2 on it, and so that's kind of where that started. Civ 6 is the newest rendition of that I've played. Civ 7 is recently out,
Mm.
but it's not been. They didn't do enough of the good updates of quality of life updates to make it worth it.
Uh, what would you rate it?
I would rate it a C.
I am
Civilization.
very fine with that. I'm not into the strategy games. The closest I would say I'm close to that would be Jurassic World Evolution, and that's not even that's similar, but not quite.
Really
Yeah,
competitive
yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I'm very confident that that's C. It takes a very special type of person to want to play that kind of game for that long of a time.
Yeah. I mean, they're
How
very
how long
popular.
does a normal game last?
Um, between 4 and 6 hours.
Oh, oh.
I'll
So
have
it
to
is
put it in D.
Okay.
it depends on how many people are playing.
Gotcha,
The less
gotcha.
people, the quicker it is.
Yeah.
But the more people that have more turns and more time to take, it gets long.
Mm,
Never
mm,
played it.
Eventually,
No.
like there's different ways to win the game, whether it's by actually conquering the whole world or a variety of different things. Whether like your religion becomes the only religion around the world, or you make it to the moon first, or
Oh,
uh,
interesting.
that's actually kind of fun.
so like there are different ways, or diplomacy, like you're able to spread your influence throughout the world without necessarily being in combat, kind of thing. So it's there are at least other mechanics to it, but for the most part, it's a very niche style gameplay.
Hmm.
Um, and then from here, we go into some of our Star Wars games. I believe this one was, in fact, Cody.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, this one's one of my favorites actually. Story game. I love Star Wars. Just the world in general. It's so cool. Being a Jedi. Oh, I love it. It's actually one of the reasons the game after this one was one of the reasons I got a new computer was to play it. Um, and so, but this one, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, it came out. I don't, I don't really know when it came out. I couldn't tell you. Um,
2018-ish, probably.
okay.
No,
No, it's got to be before
no, it's
that.
got to be before that. It's
2014,
in the
2016,
the 2010s, somewhere in there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
2015, maybe
Yeah,
that range.
probably.
I just thought of a Star Wars game that I really, really loved that probably could have passed one of my games on my top 10.
Well, actually, we could probably figure this out. When did you get your computer?
I got my computer around 2023.
Had the game come out yet?
Survivor.
2023? Yes. 3 years?
Yeah, it had already been.
What is it that year that it came out?
Um, it was that year that it came out.
So it's probably still 2018-ish because it was only like 3 to 4 years, maybe five at the most, in between the games.
Okay.
I thought it was a little bit more than that, below. I thought Pandemic made that.
Pandemic slow. I think it slowed the second one down.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking it was a longer release time.
I don't think so. 2015 to me sounds too late, but
You're good anyway.
Okay.
Either
yeah.
way,
Okay. Anyway, great game. It was like one of the first Star Wars games that I ever played, and it was such a good story, such a good. It was really fun to play. I'd put it B tier.
Mm, mm,
It has a lot of replayability with me.
yeah,
Um, it game in general, because I'm a Star Wars fan, it's a really good game, but I think it could be a better game in general, maybe. For someone who's not a Star Wars fan, they wouldn't really enjoy it probably as much.
I would
So,
agree with that. I
yeah,
think you need to be a Star Wars fan to really enjoy it because I would wielding the lightsaber. I think this is the first game they did lightsaber fighting correctly.
yeah.
Um,
I agree with that.
it's not just waving it around, but you're
no,
actually parrying
yeah,
and you're blocking the
Yeah,
blasters, and
yeah.
it's really
So that's it. Yeah, I think that A tier is fair.
yeah. I would have a hard time justifying either direction. Actually,
Yeah,
like
I would too. Actually, like I want it to be an A tier because
right?
it's a good game,
yeah.
but I don't think it. I don't think it's on the tiers of the other, at least Spider-Man that's in there.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? B for BD1?
Ah,
Uh,
there we go.
Next up we have Zelda, and this was on your list, Andrew.
It was on my list. So it is Zelda Ocarina of Time. I very much wish that was the gold cartridge.
Oh,
My best friend has the gold cartridge,
mhm.
and I'm told not to envy, and I sin when I see it. So forgive me, Lord, because I want that cartridge bad. Um, Zelda Ocarina of Time came out when I was a kid. I know people will disagree with me about I think it's the best Zelda game.
Uh,
To be fair, I'd argue you're pretty close between that
So
or Majora's Mask.
ooh, Majora's Mask was so much more difficult. It was good, but it was difficult. Anyway,
Anyway,
this one, I would say is your first Zelda 3D game. And I would say this is why, I don't want to say why, but this is kind of your starter to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
yep.
Kind of started with this one. Um, it was revolutionary when it came out. It was awesome. You had a kind of an open world. Wasn't really because you still had a certain path you had to go on, but it was still open that you could go back to other places.
Hmm.
mm,
Um, yeah. Oh man, and going through time and
Hmm.
the the final boss, man, mm, I enjoyed this game very much. I have probably bought it on everything it's come out on. So I even have it on my 3DS.
Yep.
I think that was the last time it got launched. They were talking about doing a remake. I don't think they ever will. But they're talking about bringing it out to the Switch or Switch 2, probably Virtual Console. Actually, it might be on Virtual Console already. Do they have a 64 on the expansion pass thing?
yes,
So it's
I think so.
probably already on there.
Yeah.
I recommend playing it. It's a great game. Um, I spent a lot of time in that game. Water Temple is the hardest.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
asking me to rate it, man,
I know. I know. This is the mean part of it.
is because uh, a lot of people, I know some people, it's not their favorite Zelda game.
Mhm.
Well, what do you want to rank it?
You put it as an S, so he's trying to talk himself down from there.
I am actually, but
The thing is, it would not be like the my favorite Zelda game would not be out because of this game.
that's true.
So
And
like
Yeah.
I understand the value. I haven't played it all the way through. I probably should,
I haven't played it at all.
but
Again, why am I here?
participate.
I've heard Zelda games are very, very good though.
I think that
The way you back to back these. Oh, jeez.
I know, I know. I think A is a pretty solid spot though for it.
We can put it in A. I think that's fair.
I think
It kind of hurts me a little, but
I understand. I understand. I also wasn't sure where this next one's gonna go because I think that's also gonna make a factor of it too.
I know.
I think that influences where this one goes, if I'm being honest.
It does. It does.
Because this next one, we might as well go right into it, is Zelda once again, but
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild. And that's where a lot of things changed with the Zelda franchise.
This one I would consider an actual open world
Yeah.
game and probably the first open world Zelda game.
Yeah.
So I would definitely agree with that.
Mhm, mhm.
This one was on your list, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This was the first. Okay, actually, it wasn't the first Zelda game that we got on launch, but I remember vividly, like we downloaded it, and like at the end of the day, like my whole family, we eat dinner, we go into the living room, and we're like, let's launch this thing. It downloaded for the whole day because our internet wasn't the greatest, and we're waiting for this and like the whole beginning part of it was just it was so cool. It was one of the coolest Zelda games. Best Zelda game? No. No.
I agree
But
with you.
it is there's so many different things about it that make it a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Um
Where would you rate it?
You had to restrain yourself when you were like, it's not the best game. You're like clinching onto the chair.
oh. See, I would put it in A tier easy.
Mm.
But you could probably convince me to put it in B tier
Oh.
if you wanted.
No,
I think A tier is still pretty good with it.
I think B tier is too low for it.
Yeah, A is appropriate.
With that now also being an A tier, does that change Ocarina of Time?
For me, no.
No,
And May for you guys.
Well,
I think it's where it is. I think they're both in the same spot. I think ultimately it kind of depends on when you come in the series.
I 100% agree with that statement. And I'm not saying Breath of the Wild is a bad game. I think it's a fantastic game. I put a lot of hours into it. Actually, I think I like that one better than Tears of the Kingdom.
you didn't even play the DLCs of it, did you?
I played a little bit of the DLCs. A little bit. I did buy them.
Okay, okay.
So does that make you a little happy?
Makes me a little happy.
With that in mind, I think Andrew, this next one is going to be yours.
Oh, okay. So the reason why this one is so nostalgic for me is because this was the first game I begged and begged and begged my parents to rent.
Hmm.
Back when that was a thing. Um, my dad was a minister, so we weren't wealthy people. And so it was very rare that I got it, but anytime I could, I even remember where the rental store was in Bremen, because that's where I think it's Bremen, because we were in
Yeah.
Etna Green. It is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game for NES.
Mhm.
Um, I did not own it back in the day. I do now, as you can probably see why. Um, I will say the arcade version of it was vastly superior, but for what it was a pretty good copy on home console. And it was the game. This is why it's special to me. I begged and begged and begged my parents, can I rent this? And so that's why it's on my list. It's more nostalgia. Is it as far as like top tier? Probably not. It's probably going to be C. Um, but that's where I would put it. Great, great game, great remake of an arcade.
Mhm.
Again, the arcade was great, but we didn't have a lot of those around me growing up. So this was my next thing.
Yeah,
You
I
guys good with
I, I
that?
agree.
I think he's pretty solid on that one. Like,
I know none of you have probably played it.
uh,
Would you have an NES by chance?
I I actually played the arcade version.
That's fair. If you play the arcade, you've
Yeah,
played this because they are the same. It's just graphically not as good.
yeah.
It's very possible that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game is on the Ninja Turtle collection
It
game
is.
that came out on
It
the
a-
Switch.
it absolutely is.
I've played that.
There you go.
Hey,
I'd bump it up to B
Well,
personally because
the one
now
you're
it's
talking about though, that is the arcade version,
Mhm.
so it's better graphically than what this is.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I really enjoyed it,
Yeah, it's a good game.
so
You
I would bump
probably
it up
played
to a
it.
B.
I mean, I played the Ninja Turtle kind of arcade style.
Played it with my son on my arcade cabinet.
Was that what it
Yeah.
is? It's just a fun game. Like,
I think it'd be fun. You push it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I only did that because it was the NES
I
version,
didn't mean to persuade.
but
I was just saying, like, I really enjoyed the game. Like, I know what
yep,
he's talking about. I know it's, the 20
it's
whatever version and not the one from then, but when I played it on the Switch, I, like, nonstop played it for a
yeah,
while, so.
it's a good arcade game. Really good. Oh, the next one is me too.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Back to back to back.
I know, right? So for this one, as we talk down into our lap.
Oh, sorry. For this one,
if it was in C tier, we could have said it Cowbunga.
oh,
Let's go back. Let's go back.
but now it's B tier for brothers.
Okay.
Brothers. I caught that one. Okay, my next one is going to be controversial for a lot of people, and I'll tell you why. Is Final Fantasy X.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. I already know why. Okay.
Because I personally think, and this is going to be super controversial for a lot of people,
Mhm.
it is the best Final Fantasy game.
Mm.
A lot of people are going to hate me for that because Final Fantasy VII is a lot of people's favorites.
Mhm.
I currently have never played through the entire game of Final Fantasy VII, which is people are also going to be upset about. Yeah, yeah. So send the hate mail. That's fine. I'm currently playing through the remakes, so there you go. Anyway,
Anyway.
Final Fantasy X. This was the first Final Fantasy game I've played, so that's probably why. It came out on the PS2. Has a really interesting leveling system. It's actually a
Mhm.
grid
Yeah.
that so every character can get
anything.
everything that
Yep.
everyone else has.
Yep.
And um, speaking of the games that made you want to like throw your DS, to get the ultimate weapon for one of the final guys,
Yep.
that one, ask my wife,
Mm-hmm.
you have to get under 0 second.
Oh, yeah.
I've talked to you about
Yep,
this.
yep.
And to do that, you got to get balloons and birds dive at you. It gets me irritated just thinking about it. But the story in this game is one of my most favorite stories.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say it's my most favorite because it's not my favorite game of all time, which we'll get to, which I've already told you. Um, but if you're not noticing, I enjoy games for their story, and this one was top tier story to me. I mean, there is. You talked about a game that made you cry. It didn't make me cry, but it was very. I was very choked up at the end of this game. Um, for those of you who have played it, will know why. For me personally, uh, asking me to rank it,
I know. I know.
Every game.
uh, it's.
Uh-huh.
I want to put it in A tier, but it's probably B tier for a lot of people. Um,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
so it's another turn-based game. Um, yeah. Have you played it?
Fun fact. I have not actually played it myself. However, fun fact about this is when I first actually was introduced to D&D,
Oh,
mm, uh the RA who was like part of who was involved in the game based one of his character around some of the characters from Final Fantasy X. And so
oh,
uh-huh.
which characters? Do you remember?
I know them by the D&D name, which may not be their actual name.
What did they do?
One was a one was the was the one with the rabbit ears. And the other one was Gunslinger Rogue.
Okay,
It was
interesting.
dagger pistols specifically. I don't know if that actually was in that game or not.
No, that would
I,
have been the second one.
okay, so
The second one I did
yeah,
not care for as much.
like that. That's why I'm like I like loot tangentially related to this one specifically,
Okay. Mm.
and that was my experience of how I was introduced to it. So
So
my perspective is a little warped on this one.
yeah, so I'm the only one who has played this.
Yeah,
I think
I think B is specifically is probably the better
it's probably
spot for the
fair.
one because I think while I've not directly played it, I also think that like the customization of being able to go anywhere on that grid pattern
Yeah,
is also like crazy good in my opinion
yeah.
because you can then customize whichever characters you want to have those abilities.
Oh yeah,
Like, so a lot of JRPG games, you have to have a certain character with
yeah.
you if you want that certain
They
ability.
have a certain job.
Yeah,
Is how they label
yeah.
it. Yep,
Like, if I want a healer in the group, I have to have this one character with me all the time.
yep,
Whether or not I like the character, I need the healer.
yep.
And when they take that character away,
Oh, you're thinking of a game.
I have a specific game in mind.
Oh, is it coming up?
It's coming up.
All right,
Man,
all right.
story
I'm
time.
okay with it being B tier. Um, B for Besaid Aurochs. You'll get that if you played it.
Makes sense. And I think then we jump back to, I believe this is Caleb, right? With the
Oh, is it?
resort.
Where's
I
it?
could. It was one of the two of you. I don't, or maybe
Man, I can't remember.
What
Did you
game?
both have it on there?
it's like the Wii Resort.
We've had to.
Oh, Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah.
I know I have it on mine. Do you have it on yours?
I think it might have been.
Oh, this
Because
is one of
there
them.
is Wii Sports and then Wii Sports Resort.
This
And
is Resort.
yeah,
Both were there, and both were on one of
I
them.
might have one of them. I can't remember which one though.
I have Resort for sure. I actually have both.
I would say
Oh,
one had both,
So,
and I
okay.
think the other one had the one on one.
I
So
can't remember which
there
one
was an
mine
overlap
was.
here.
okay, well, I'll just because I'm sure I can talk about it. So Wii Sports Resort not only did I mean, is it nostalgic? Like that was the game that I grew up with. That was one of my very first Wii games. But I'm finding it hard to not like the game.
Is it a Wii game or is it Wii U?
It's Wii. It's
It's
a Wii
Wii.
game.
Wii
It is?
Sports Resort was
Yeah.
Wii. Yeah.
Man, I don't remember that. Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
halfway
Yeah.
through. It wasn't in the beginning because Wii Sports was the beginning that blew
So
up.
this is basically
And
Wii
then
Sports 2.
basically,
Yeah.
Basically just
That
like
kind of probably
tropical.
is.
yeah,
Like tropical. But
Did it have a flying part to it?
yes.
you had biplane.
Yeah.
So it was
So
like
this
pirates.
game
Okay.
had I mean, this game had it had surfing, it had like bicycling, frisbee. There was that one sword game where you cut things in half, but you had to
That's
do it like
right.
right as it was like
The
three, two,
time.
one, and then you had to cut it the specific direction, but you didn't
Fruit
know the
Ninja.
direction. There was a plane mode where you had to fly and like get specific things. Um, yeah, this game, I, for me, would put Wii Sports Resort. Oh my gosh. I would put Wii Sports Resort in A. I'm having a hard time not putting it in S.
Oh, I wouldn't
But
put it in
here's
this.
why. Here's why.
No.
Here's why. Because there's another game coming up that I'm putting in S.
If it's the same name game, I probably agree with you.
Now, Resort, again, because I don't know, I'm feeling A. Clearly they're not thinking A, so we'll see what ends,
Was it
but
one you played solo or one you played more with friends?
I played by myself.
Okay.
Well, okay, both. I mean, both.
Interesting.
So I played by myself, certain days, and then other days I played with friends.
Sure, sure.
So
I disagree with it being in the A category.
Okay.
Here's my rationale
Yep.
why.
Okay.
I actually remember when both these games came out because I was working at GameStop at the time. Yes, thank you. Wii Sports Resort. Oh, see, we haven't gotten. Oh,
It's
put it where you want because I'm gonna make a rationale later on. for why it maybe needed to be dropped. So go ahead and put it in there, and then when we get to the other one, we can go more detailed
Are
on it.
you thinking A as well
Oh,
then?
I love it in A.
Okay.
Yeah, A is
Okay.
really good.
Okay. I will put it there then. I will get to you. So this one is actually mine. So this is okay. Very specifically, this is Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban for the Game Boy Advance.
Interesting.
And so the reason why it's this one specifically is because they had it for other systems, but it was a very different game for the other
Oh,
systems.
Oh, interesting.
The Game Boy Advance version was a turn-based RPG style.
oh,
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
very
Interesting.
interesting.
Right? And so you were able to go around the map to go to the different, like you followed the storyline, but you followed the storyline in an RPG style format. You like gained levels, you learned new spells, you learned new ways to be able to like interact with the world. And so like you had different things you could do, like things that would like encourage your teammates in other ways. So like you had like Harry, Ron, and Hermione at some points being able to work together to take on these things in a kind of turn-based style. So like it I was very disappointed when any other game was not that. I actually I had as a kid a game disappeared in time. No idea where that actually went. Which is really sad because I love that game. I tried to get emulators for it, and the emulators kept giving me a different game because it was only for the Game Boy Advance.
Interesting.
Wow.
So I had to.
So you couldn't get this game
But
today.
I finally, within this last week, ever actually starting this list again, was able to get it for my phone.
Wow.
But um, up to that point, within like I tried even a year ago, and it was like unavailable,
Oh,
even on like emulators.
it's
Interesting.
crazy.
So, yeah, so that's why this specific one.
Talk
Um,
about a
I've never played it, so but it piques my interest very much because I am very much into turn-based stuff.
so yeah, and it
Huh? Yeah. I've seen some movies.
fair. This one it technically has replayability. Like there's different things you can unlock after like beating it for the first time,
Okay.
but you also can like keep your levels from the first game for the first
Oh,
run through.
so it has like a new
That's
game
really cool.
It
plus.
has kind of a new game plus, but
Nice.
the enemies don't scale with you, so you
Oh,
will
you
like
crush them.
yeah destroy them as you go through. Um, but you can unlock more abilities as you get higher up. So it's like
Kind of cool.
yeah, it's a really interesting kind of thing to max it out. So it's like it's really good that kind of one time through. Replay Plus is actually really interesting, but after that, like second time, it's kind of here or there. So like I would put it probably I would say as much fun as that's really a really cool thing. I think it's also very niche. So I would put it down here
Mm,
on D personally, only because
It piques my interest.
realistically it's like a 10-15 hour game.
Mm.
Like, but to be fair,
I
in its time and its day,
yeah
it was pretty good.
for the hey, we're gonna put a new one out every year kind of thing.
yeah
Uh,
It,
yeah yeah.
I would put it D because it's like I think it's interesting. Like
I'm comfortable with that because I would have normally just been like, I'm never gonna play this game
yeah,
until you had told me what it's like, and then I would consider it. But
right.
but that's interesting. I thought it was a Lego game at first, but
mhm.
interesting.
So yeah, that's part. My list is of some of them are games that either A I've played or ones I thought were like, hey, this is a very unique, cool thing that is worth like highlighting.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I never heard of it or played it, but I'm not into Harry Potter, so I'm not
I'm
even
not
sure I'd have a
either.
right to even rank the game.
I'm not either. So,
fair.
well, that disappoints you.
A little bit.
I'm sorry.
Which part?
But he's not into
You're
Harry
not a
Potter.
fan of Harry Potter.
I have my
But
reasons.
okay.
All right.
With that in mind.
With that in mind, the next game is on my tier, unless someone
Yep.
else put it in, but
Nope.
I doubt it.
Nope, this one's here.
Is Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh,
Mackenzie loves that game.
and I don't blame her. She's got good taste. And she's dating you, right?
Yes.
I had to think about it.
Kingdom Hearts 2 was the last one that was made on the PS2.
Mhm.
Um, I am actually a big fan of the Kingdom Hearts series. As yes, I'm hoping he gets to Kingdom Hearts 2. I hope I haven't hyped it up too much for him.
I
Um,
just have to find the time to play.
I know, I know, I know. I Kingdom Hearts 1 was actually the first game I ever went to. I think at that time it was EB Games, but it's the GameStop in Mishawaka
Sure.
that I went and traded in games and bought on a whim. Just it looked interesting. I had no idea what it was about, and I fell in love with it. And it's if you don't know about Kingdom Hearts, it's basically Disney characters mixed with Final Fantasy characters with a really cool battle system. Um, Kingdom Hearts 2 starts off really confusing, especially if you haven't played the game in between, which came out originally on the Game Boy Advance,
Yep.
which I own. Um, but I think it has even past Kingdom Hearts 3, because Kingdom Hearts 3 has come out. I think it has the best battle system. I think it's the most clean battle system. Um, I actually played that game on normal and did everything in the Jiminy Journal so I could see the final hidden scene for 30 seconds. And that was a trudge. Um,
Yep.
um, so Kingdom Hearts 2, what would I rate it? Oh,
we can't ask you to rate games. It's just
well,
every single game.
well, this is hard
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it
it's
is.
it's not the first one. If it was the first one, I'd want to kind of put it in the S category because it spawned this whole
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
And this franchise is huge, but it's not the first one. Um, so for me, I would either put it in A or S. Because I think it's the best Kingdom Hearts game out of the franchise. Personally, I know there's going to be some people upset about that. Um,
Nah.
We are over an hour into this video.
well, I'm
If you're watching it, they don't care.
so that's where I land. You
Yeah.
guys can argue or argue with me, and
I will keep it in S because I love Mackenzie and she loves this game.
Well, I also think realistically, you're also messing around with Disney property at that point.
yeah,
So, like, as soon as you mess with around with the Disney property,
yeah,
it's the S tier is going to have to be there for, especially for this one.
yes.
Yeah.
Have anybody else played it yet? Have you played it?
I've played parts of it. I've not actually played it fully through.
Okay.
Um, like super transparent. I only really had limited access to video games as a kid. Most of my video games were as a like going into college
Yeah.
when money was not necessarily super prevalent.
Oh man, these next few ones are all me.
I know.
Are you guys comfortable with that?
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
yep, we're good.
Next game is a very niche game. Um, it came out on the Xbox 360 and Xbox 360 alone. And just to give you a little backstory to it, it was made by the company called Mistwalker, which the Final Fantasy, I think, director who did the original Final Fantasy games started his own company called Mistwalker and made this game called Lost Odyssey. This is another turn-based RPG game.
Yep.
As far as story goes, one of the best. Um, it's it's basically you play it for the story. Um, you play as an immortal named Kaim, and there are four other immortals, and you learn more of their stories. They've lived 4,000 years, and ooh, I don't want to give too much away.
Sure.
So for me, because it's a niche game, geez, I don't know.
Hmm.
And none of you have played it, I'm guessing.
I've
Yes,
heard.
I agree with that.
Do I get points for at least hearing about the game?
Have you heard about it?
I have heard about it.
I would agree with that.
I think
I
that's
would put
fine.
it in a B tier because I would say the same as far as like Final Fantasy and that is pretty
On par.
similar. Give it a go if you like story games. Ooh, it's a really, really good game. Uh, I would highly suggest everyone plays it.
So I made the top 10.
Yeah, yeah. My next one, I've already told you, is my favorite game of all time.
Oh man.
And it is again Lunar.
Yeah.
Um,
I, I, it's gonna go right there.
Probably
It's
because
gonna go right
it would
there.
personally for me go higher,
I know.
but
I know.
I am comfortable with that because it's a very niche game. It came out in the 90s. Um, oh, I actually made my wife play this game before we got married, and she had to like it. She never beat it, but she liked it. She liked where the story was going.
Sure.
It's legit. It's a love story, and it's nostalgia. It is the first game that I played that was kind of RPG esque, and I fell in love with it. Honestly, I'll give you props. It was from Brian Henninger.
Yep.
Canon. He was, like, I think, the first intern or something like that.
Oh
I don't
man.
know. He was an intern at Buchanan, and he owned this game, and I was like, "What is this?" And I just started playing it, and I could not put it down. Like I said earlier, it got me in trouble enough that my dad would take the power cord to the PlayStation away,
Uh,
and me being clever enough would just take the power cord from the VCR and use that. Um, we're gonna rate it. They're going with A tier. I'm fine with that.
Top of A tier.
I'm fine with that. It kind of hurts me a little because
I
it's my
know.
favorite game of all time.
I
But
know.
as far as a group goes, I can understand. It's a very niche type game. Honestly, I want certain people to play it, but I'm also afraid for them to play it because if they don't like it, it's going to really hurt me.
That's
So,
fair. Fair.
yes.
My favorite game of all time down here. Sorry about it.
It's
oh
my
no.
interest, though. What's the
So
next one?
next one is the Super Mario Spaceball one. Which is
Strikers.
yes.
Oh,
Slugger. I
Slugger.
think it's Slugger.
Strikers was the soccer.
Yep.
Striker was soccer. Yeah,
Yeah.
Slugger is baseball.
Yep.
So this was another Wii game. Or at least I played it on the Wii. It was It's as simple as it sounds. It is baseball with Mario characters. That's literally all it is, but each individual character had like different power ups. Now this is a little bit nostalgic for me because I my cousin lives in Brunson, Missouri, and when we were younger, we went over there one time for spring break, and he had school still because our spring breaks didn't match up. So I was on spring break. He just got back, so he was starting school again. Every every night around 9 o'clock, we would play this game until midnight for like 3 straight hours. We just played it in his living room, Mario Sluggers. So it's definitely more of like a nostalgic and a story for me. I really enjoyed the game. A baseball fan, so like Mario and baseball. As for like a tier list, this is not going any higher than B. In fact, I would put this in C because I think it's lower than Super Mario Bros. That is a way better game than Mario Sluggers. It's not even close actually. Um, but Whereas NASCAR, I played by myself most of the time because like nobody liked NASCAR. That I played with people and my cousin. Sorry, Andrew. We were the only two. Whereas Mario Sluggers, I played with people. NASCAR, I played alone. So I would put it in C. I don't see it going higher than C either, based
I
on
was
our
even
B
okay
ranked
with you
games.
doing a B with that too, but I understand your logic for it and I
Yeah.
agree with it.
I think C is probably the right spot for that one. Uh, next up is Minecraft, which
That was
was
Dakota's game, I think.
Convince me.
I wish Minecraft wasn't so popular for its own good because it's like in a way overpopularized, if that means anything, especially
I think
with the
everybody.
movie coming out and everything, and everyone's like, "Oh my goodness!" Like, but
Can
as
we
a
put it
game,
out there that that game does not reflect the movie at all?
I
Like, would
haven't
you?
seen it. I
Would
haven't
you?
seen it, so I don't
Okay.
know.
uh, so we'll focus on the game for now.
Okay, 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 okay. So, we I saw my cousin playing this game. It was very early on in its making. He was playing it on his computer, and it's like, what is this game kind of deal? And so we got as kids like Kindle Fires, I think was what they were called, which is like a tablet, cheap version of a tablet, and Minecraft came out on it, and we're like, we got to play this game.
Mhm.
And ever since then, we've been playing it. Like even now, I still play it. It's been timeless. The creativity that you can imbue into the game is almost like a bare bones, but you can make it into whatever you want to make it into. Um, and as you grow, like I grew up with it, and as I grow up, it's kind of come with me in every stage. Like with the updates that came out, you get new content and you get more creativity that you can work with and mess around with. And then since I started with Bedrock Edition, which is basically just kind of console edition, I then moved to Java Edition, which was the computer, and you can mess around with it even more with like mods and uh, it's just as a game, it's so much fun, and that's even by yourself. But when you add other people to it, like you can play multiplayer, it's like it just becomes just I don't know.
I think I think Minecraft is the biggest selling video game of all time.
I think so.
I think it's
It's
Minecraft and
It probably
Tetris are
it
like
is.
the
is.
I don't
top
know.
two.
It is.
Yeah,
It is. It's Legos on the computer.
basically, basically.
Um, However, because it's
Never
also
thought about it that way.
Legos on the computer, um, where would you rate it?
Soda. I know you want to put it in.
I know
I
where
think
I
this was my
I
number
know where
one.
you would put it too.
This was my number one. I would put it S tier because of just the sheer amount of time I've put into it and how much fun I've had with it. I could put it in A tier though. It's not niche though. The thing is, it's not niche. Like you can have fun with it no matter. Like, would you play it if you didn't think it was a child game, like a child's game?
So I will say that this was also on my list.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Alright,
This is the other one.
This is one of them. Yeah.
overlapping.
So, the reason why it was on my list was in college, when it came out, hmm, dating it a little bit there.
Mhm.
We got it for the console, played on the Xbox.
Mm,
And with the Xbox, we were able to do two player, and so we were able to kind of build our own little worlds in survival mode and two player. Uh, Fun enough, but at the same time, m my roommates did not necessarily always get along very well, and so they would just
Oh,
sometimes take that out in Minecraft.
TNT, the old house.
And so I've always found that there's a shelf life to Minecraft in regards to even some
Mhm.
worlds. That there's always like you can only play for so long before you have to like before you restart.
Yes.
There's always a restart at some point here. So like I don't like even if you finish the game kind of thing, you still have to there's always a restart coming up. Like you're like, oh, I did everything I was going to do. I'm gonna reset it, try to do it all again, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, to that end, I would put it as a C.
See?
Oh wow. Oh man.
Here.
That's like
Yeah,
opposites right there.
I know.
Oh man. Dakota's about to leave.
That hurts a little bit.
So, so, so I'm wondering if maybe we can compromise at the B.
So, can I say something as well?
Yeah.
Most of the time, I just give you a hard time. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I don't like the game because, mainly because it's super pixelated, which is, I mean, that's just what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Don't get upset about it. Let me say my
Sorry,
stance
sorry, sorry,
first.
sorry.
But that's not the whole thing. It's just, as you know, and as you can tell with some of the stuff I've put in, I'm very story based. And we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
that you like game mechanics a lot.
Yeah.
That's one of your favorite things with Arkham Knight, of why you liked Arkham Knight and why you didn't like Arkham City as much. Let's not go into it now. Um, so for me, I just get bored with it really quickly. Um, I would actually give it a higher tier as well. Um, only because it has been very popular. My son loves it.
Sure.
I mean, it's spawned a movie probably franchise, to be honest. Yeah, even though the movie was, yeah, definitely for kids. Um, so I would be okay with it in a higher tier. I almost, oh, this kind of hurts me to say. I would almost be willing to go with S with you as well, only because of how big it is, and how much people play it and how huge it is. I mean, look how many YouTubers are out there that's all they do is play Minecraft.
Yeah.
And they have millions
Yes.
of subscribers.
And then they're no longer YouTubers.
Now, me personally, I agree with you. That's how I feel. It's a C game to me that I just get bored with.
So I
But
will say I have no vote on this. And here's why. I literally can't play this game because of my motion sickness. I
oh,
don't know what it
it's the
is.
pixels.
When I was
So,
younger, I played this game.
but
I can't tell you how young I was because I actually have no idea. I'm pretty sure Minecraft was out a long time before
it's
I
been
even
out
played it.
for a while.
So I have no idea at what point I was playing it as. I just know that when I played it for my first 2 years, I enjoyed it. I remember looking up tutorials on YouTube of how to build stuff, and I would build it. I literally made my family a village.
Yeah.
I had a pig named Reuben.
Yeah.
You can ask my dad about that. It was for him. And then I tried coming back to it, and I just 20 minutes in, puked.
Wow.
I literally cannot play
I
Minecraft.
get you because it could get me as well.
Yeah, it hurts me.
If you've watched this far in the video, comment Ruben down below.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you've watched this far.
It's not that far, guys. Come on.
So,
How far are we into this?
We got here about 7, right?
Right. We started
We
probably
start-
around 7:10ish.
Probably more like
7:20.
20.
Yeah, 7:20, 7:30, somewhere in there. So we're at a minimum an hour and a half in regards to actual recording time.
So I'm okay with it being there. It could go lower to
Brandon, I'm sorry.
For its own good, I can see it going in A tier. For its own good.
Sure.
Just
Yeah.
there is a
I don't know
level
about
that
on the same
there
level
are
as Wii
some
Sports
people
Resort.
there are some people who are like, that's just not for me.
Yeah.
And but for those like some people who aren't gamers, who just don't play games in general, actually play this game.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's like this weird balance of so I can see it in A tier. I can justify it like that. But I can't.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
With that in mind, as we kind of wrap these up, I'm going to say, for the sake of time, that we're going to want to speed these a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's fine. We can do that with these.
They're probably not even watching it.
Well, no, no, well, maybe, but at the same point, we also want to make sure that that stuff doesn't die on us.
Yeah, because you haven't even gotten to a lot of your stuff, I think.
No, I'm saying my computer. We actually have a time limit of when we had this.
The next one is mine.
Yeah.
And then we'll just go right into it. The next one is actually an arcade game, and as a kid, anytime I ever, even now, which you don't really see them much anymore, if I see this around, it's getting a quarter or a credit from me, and it is the X-Men arcade game. Um, I loved that game as a kid. I always played as Wolverine. You went around and fought kind of same size Sentinels, even though that's not the case in the comics, but it was a great arcade game. It got a lot of money from me and really my parents. I just to speed this, I would rank this just because it's more nostalgia for me.
Sure.
C tier game, maybe B if you're happy with that.
I
But
would probably put it right here next to Turtles.
yeah, it's a good arcade game.
I think that's. I think
Never
it's
played
pretty good.
it, but I probably would like it.
Yeah, if you ever
It's
see it out
X-Men.
there, play it. Last time I think I played it as an arcade unit was at the comic book museum in Elkhart before he moved to his big thing. So I'm just hoping he still had it. But
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
From there,
you guys happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
from there we go into basketball, 2K20, right?
I think it's 14.
Okay.
All right.
Reference.
So I'm gonna make this I'm gonna try and make this short. Basically this was the first ever NBA 2K game I ever played, the
Mhm.
first basketball game I ever played, so it's a little nostalgic. At the time, I was heavily involved in NBA, and I love the game. As for an actual game, probably could put it in the C. The only reason it's not a D is because the NBA video games, a lot of I mean, it's one of the higher grossing like content games, like basketball games in general. It probably would be higher if the games now weren't so crap. I'm just being honest. After NBA 2K17, I did not touch another basketball game.
Mm.
So I cannot put it any higher for that reason. But that was the first ever game, and I think it's higher than NASCAR, but it's lower than Mario Sluggers.
That's fair.
So
I could tell you as a GameStop employee, we sold a lot of them.
yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
We
that
sold
used
a
to,
lot of them.
yeah, it's a very popular franchise, the
Actually, a lot of
NBA
the ones
games,
that
the
are coming
2K
up, we sold
games.
a lot of them that are yours. So I'm fine with that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that that is a thing. Like I've, especially that series of games, I think is still a very popular series in regards
Yeah,
It
to.
is.
I think especially also very much a cultural game too. Um, like uh, legitimately, college when the new one comes out, people that enjoy basketball specifically were playing that game pretty religiously
Yeah,
yeah,
for at least a good period of time.
yeah. I think it's more like almost their fantasy, like football type thing.
Yeah,
It's almost like their fantasy basketball
yeah.
thing.
And 2K is one of those games that's very grindable.
yeah,
Like you can spend hours and hours and hours on the game
yep.
without even realizing. I mean, I guess that's a lot of games,
It
but
is, but I also think it has a very similar vibe to some of these next ones here too, in
Yes.
regards to their niche of sports.
yeah.
Because I think these next two are also yours.
Yes, so I'll just do them together.
Yeah,
College football 14. I'll start with that one first. College football 14 is a little different. That is the last college football game that
yep,
was made before they just made 25 last year.
yep.
Um, bless him. Uh, um, I This game I played religiously. I was a massive football fan growing up, still am. I literally pre-ordered and waited in my room on the countdown screen for when 25 was releasing last year. Um, I love this game. It's very hard because it's a franchise that stopped because they illegally couldn't use real people's last names.
Yeah.
And then it came back and it sold over like it's a lot of copies.
Yep.
I would put College Football 14, this is just me. I would put it in S because I played it religiously. This was my
Oh,
favorite game. This might be number one.
For you?
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I can see that knowing
So
you. I
it
can
won't
also
be,
say, like, as a GameStop employee, it was and probably still is a very rare game.
yeah, if you have a copy of 14 now, keep it. You won't find that
I
again.
don't.
Now, they're gonna put it whatever, and I totally understand. I totally understand because it's a football game. It's hard to put a football game above like story games or content games. But for me, this is easily an S because of how much I played it.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you hit it in B? Because it's above 2K, I'd
Yeah,
say.
I would
Um,
100% agree.
yeah.
Is it above Madden?
I think the same tier.
I am going to get to that.
Okay.
Um, Now, here's the thing.
We put it in B tier, by the way.
I did at the
Madden,
moment.
Yeah.
Madden 16. Madden 16 was my favorite Madden.
Mhm.
It was the first Madden that had career mode.
Sure.
I religiously did career mode all the time. Franchise wise, Madden has sold again. It's like 2K in college
Yeah,
football,
it's
millions of
Yeah.
copies. In fact, it's still probably one of the bigger ones. I respect you guys.
he starts off there.
I would like to put Madden in the C, but can you put it above 2K? Because I bought later copies of Madden
Mhm.
than I did 2K.
Oh yeah.
And Madden 16 is arguably a top 5 Madden of all time, but it's definitely lower than college football.
I'm okay with this. I personally, for me, I would honestly say like you wouldn't have the NCAA football if you didn't have Madden.
Yeah.
Madden became the football game.
That's
I actually
true.
just watched a documentary on it like last
Very
week.
true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So I'm okay with the rating that you've done with this so far. If you're okay with it,
I think this is probably where it ends up being.
yeah,
Like, I think we could probably have debates of, hey, where should it be, what should not be,
I know.
but I think that
Again,
ultimately ends here.
yeah, again, I would put it in my S, but I totally understand. It's kind of, again, it's hard to put a football game above really any of the games in S or A because it's football. It's not like you, it's not like a story game that you created and came
Yeah.
up with all the details. It's football. You already knew football. You just had to come up with the game mechanics for it. So I totally get it, even though it's an S.
Next one on the one is Pokemon Unite. This is basically League of Legends Light in regards to gameplay style. Um, it, it is the idea. Basically, you basically are playing League of Legends with Pokemon. That's effectively what you're doing.
Interesting. Surprised it didn't do as well because League of Legends was huge.
Right, right. It's I think it's too niche.
Oh,
Because like if you like League of Legends, you're playing League of Legends versus Pokemon.
that's true.
Like w- League, you at least have like, hey, there's still things you can actually like get in regards to it's worth the grinding of League versus Pokemon. So I would put this in D tier, despite actually liking this game.
Oh,
Um, I think it's a fun game. I think it's worth playing if you're kind of like interested in the idea of it.
I feel bad about all your games so far.
I look, I knew this was going to be the case going in,
Okay.
so
I'd be willing to put it at a C.
I think it could go higher, but I think that it's also very so neat
Hmm.
in that regard
Hmm.
that like it.
I don't know. I could see. I'm a little surprised
Yeah,
because
you push that higher.
I could go see with that
I would go
because
Okay,
C.
I know how well League of Legends did, and I still probably did. And
is yeah.
exactly. And I'm surprised that that game didn't do as well as it did then if it's like that.
I will say that is the only Pokemon game I've ever played.
Is Pokemon Unite? Did you
That's
like
why
it?
I would rank
You
it a
liked it?
C.
Yeah.
Um, at the time that I played it, no, because I was all sportsy.
Hmm.
Now I look back at it, yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's also much more fun to do it with people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Um,
Doing it
I,
alone.
I also have people that I can play it with.
Mm.
So like,
Mm.
Mm,
and they're actually like decent at the game, which makes it a
mm.
little bit better. Like we've gone into like the master rank essentially with this game.
Okay.
Um, usually we don't play it enough to actually like get like beyond, hey, we made it into the tier, but enough to be able to get to,
Right.
hey, this is where it's going to be. So
Mhm.
that's why that one. Next one is SpongeBob Racing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's voting back.
Let me
Yeah, it
explain.
is.
Let me explain. This is nostalgic for me as most of my games have been. When I first got my 3DS, I had three games that were not they were not bundled with the DS, but I got it for Christmas and then my parents bought three more games. These were the three first ever games I had. Super Mario Bros. Was the first one, like I said earlier in the
Mhm.
video. Superhero Squad on the 3DS was the second game that I had.
Is this Marvel
Marvel
Superhero?
Superhero Squad.
Okay.
And then it was SpongeBob Boating Bash. I played, it's kind of funny. I played SpongeBob Boating Bash before I played Mario Kart. I did not know Mario Kart was a
Yeah.
game. This was my Mario Kart with SpongeBob Kart Racing. Um, it's a D. It just compared with all the other games, there's no way that this arguably probably might be an F compared to the games that we have on here. But I put it on here because I did put hours into that game.
Nostalgia.
A
Yeah.
lot of hours into that
Yeah,
game.
there's some game. Yeah.
And it was a top, or it was one of the first three games I ever had on the 3DS. So, but
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate it even making it on the tier. So, thank you.
Yep. Cody.
Yeah, this is mine. This is the sequel to the Fallen Order Star Wars game. And yeah, this is the reason I got a new computer, 'cause
Hmm.
it's a powerhouse. It
Yep.
takes a lot.
Yep.
I can't even run it high on a computer I spent a lot of money on. So it's Yeah. But anyway, it was a good game. It what arguably the first one was better, um, story wise in a way, just in full gameplay for me. At least, but this one was still a really good game. But so the first one was in B
You,
tier, so I'd still put it in B tier. It's still B tier.
I would too.
yeah, I would be confident putting those two in the same spot.
Yeah.
Like effectively, it's kind of a continuation more than separate games, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
I disagree with you about story wise. I think the second one's story was really interesting, but we can discuss that later
Yeah.
because I agree with where we put it in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
the next up we had Super Mario Galaxy.
That was also mine.
Decoder game.
Which I disagree that all Mario games are the same.
I
Each one is different. That is my opinion. Um, this was nostalgic for me. Um, this you could ask my mom. This is one of the only games she's kind of played almost all the way through, and she's not a gamer. And it's that good. But this is the I think the first game I played on my own all the way through. And I love Galaxy. I love Star. The music I love the music. And the game is fun. It's one of those games where you end the game and you can continue playing because they've got special things that happen afterward. And it's just really fun, creative. Uh, one of the fun Mario games. I'd put it above Mario Bros. Um, for me,
I'm not
but
doing that. I will not put that above Mario Bros. I have never played this, so I don't know how much my opinion matters, but like I said earlier, Super Mario Bros. is
Did you ever play
uh,
Mario 64?
I would say
maybe versions of it.
I would say maybe we can keep it the same tier, but underneath it.
I could do that. I could do that.
And
I,
then
I
maybe
think that that's probably.
below
I think it's.
college football 14.
You could,
No, I'm playing, I'm playing.
Anyway,
I
anyway,
can't.
has a bit of a better stand tier in my books, so I could put it below Nintendo Land as well.
Oh, in a
Oh,
C tier.
oh,
But
I
I
mean
think
I
it's
could
a
see
better
that.
game than
I
that.
could see that. I
oh.
could see these kind of being on a similar.
I like how you put civil above. Sneak that in there.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Um,
Yeah, it's next to Sluggers. Yeah, it's next to
yeah, it's
Sluggers.
under Nintendo Land, so it's like. Anyway,
Friggin-
I think that that's roughly the. I think it's in this category here between
You,
B and C.
you want to put it at B? That's fine.
Do you? I.
Mario Bros is going up to an A.
I mean, I actually could see that going up to an A, actually, but that's neither here nor there.
As a group,
But I think
I put it there, but I put it higher in my own books.
it's fair.
That's just that's my opinion.
We'll see, because I think the next one's actually going to be like radically different from the rest of
Oh,
these.
I agree.
Um,
I agree.
because the next one is Mario Kart.
Who put that one on there?
I think it was Cody, but also mine.
Oh yes,
Which one?
yes.
Because you have on there the Super Nintendo
I have the Super
version.
Nintendo on there. Um, but I also because that was you just put Mario Kart versus
I love all Mario
yeah.
Karts. They're all it's so much fun.
Have you played the Super Nintendo version?
That's the first one that came out.
Yeah.
Yes, it was on the Switch. It was one of the
Virtual consoles?
yeah,
Oh,
virtual
Okay,
consoles.
okay.
I did play it and it was fun. It was fun.
All right.
I just want to
Um,
put this out there. I'm pretty sure Boating Bash
Yes.
paved the way for Mario Kart because I played that not knowing that was a thing. So Boating Bash is clearly an S. No, I would honestly, I agree with you. Mario Kart's probably
I
S.
think at that game, but I would agree where you guys are rating it because it is actually it's a lot of fun to play
I'm
multiplayer.
surprised it's not one of the better selling games.
I mean, it's still they
It's a lot.
it's a launch console game that just came out for the Switch too.
it's missing a game, but we'll talk about it at the end.
Oh, it is?
It is missing one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just now realized
Was
because
it yours?
it was on two lists actually. I'm pretty sure. So
Oh,
we'll come back to it.
Let's see. Okay.
But next one on this is Battlefront 2.
did we tell them we put that in the S tier?
Oh yeah, we put it on S tier. They're gonna see it visually. That's true.
Oh, they are? Oh, the cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2.
Dakota's game
Yeah,
as well.
this could probably be put in like C or B, maybe D, arguably, but um, it's just a lot of fun. As a Star Wars fan, again, it's like one of those. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I
I'd
will
agree
say
with that.
this, as a non-Star Wars fan, I enjoyed Battlefront 2. We've talked about the game.
Yeah.
And so
Hmm.
I, as a non-Star Wars fan who likes a Star Wars game, I think it deserves to go and see.
Okay. So with that in mind, next up is man. I really wish I had more time to talk about these ones. Because like
Tales of Symphonia.
Tales of Symphonia, the Tales of franchise, I think is a really fun franchise. Another JRPG franchise. This was kind of my introduction to JRPGs.
Yeah.
And we played it on the GameCube. I actually had four players playing this all the way through, and so we were actually able to go from start to finish
That's awesome.
with this game in four player. We then turned around the next year and did it again, but
Different
I
characters.
was the only person of the four to play both.
Play both.
So we a group of four played it my freshman year of college. My
Uh,
sophomore year of
uh,
college, the group of four played it. I was the only carryover between the two.
oh, okay.
So um
I love Tales of Symphonia.
I've also actually played it four times now all the way through with different groups of people.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, I really enjoy this kind of style of gameplay, this game itself. Um, it actually has like an anime adaptation, which is really interesting as well. So for those that didn't actually want to play the game, you can actually like effectively kind of go through it without that. So I realistically I would put it C, but that's me. I could see it going down even further, but I think like it's a really nice story-based game. It's I could see it go higher than that, but I for this group here, I think there's other ones that are probably better in regards to that same kind of. We have a lot in that category at this point.
Yeah.
Like I think it's probably here on this list.
I own the game as well. It's a great game.
It is a really great game.
Uh, played any Star Ocean or anything like that. It's that same battle system.
Hmm.
You'd probably like the battle system too. Yeah. Um, we can go with C. I would actually agree with you. It might go higher, but that's a good game.
I think it's a really good game. I also know that you two have not played it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, so I'd say go on your standard. Whatever you want.
I would put it in B if you both think it can go higher.
I th- I mean I could see.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. There's an next up was on I think my list only was Skyrim. I played a
Never,
lot of Skyrim,
never played it before.
but it also fit that kind of D&D-esque style thing for being solo player.
I want to like those.
Um, to be fair, it very much is mood dependent for me. I would put this C. I don't think it goes any higher than C.
I'm fine with that.
It's also been kind of like Minecraft in the way that it's been overexposed in that kind of regard. It's been constantly that one game.
Yeah.
That yeah,
I mean, I had a buddy at GameStop that put like 500 hours into the game.
yeah,
So, yeah.
Jeez.
probably same.
That is.
And then we go on to our Zelda.
This one's you, isn't it?
This
Yeah,
is me. I would put this as my favorite Zelda game. Uh, because of story and
Well, behind those two for sure.
fine. Put it fine.
I
This
say
is
Zelda
nostalgic.
tier.
I watched my dad play this one before I played it. Um,
Which one is it?
Zelda Twilight Princess. Is the game. And great story. Dark atmosphere.
Mhm.
Very dark.
Yeah.
Very dark atmosphere for a Zelda game, but kind of has that lure to it as well. Because of that.
I was actually kind of surprised you actually were allowed to play it because of that.
Yeah, it's very dark.
like like legitimately.
It's one of those Zelda games I never beat actually, and I was right there. We've talked about this.
Ending is
We've talked
incredible.
about this.
I'm really sad that you haven't I go on and on about this, but we'll keep this short. Yeah, I think it's good. A
We put it A
tier.
tier.
A
A
tier is
tier,
good.
yeah.
A tier is good. Yeah. Yeah.
And then last up is Wii Sports.
So this was on my list. This is easily an S for me. Played it before Wii Sports Resort. This paved the way for sports games for me because this was the first sports game I had. I had this before I even had college football, Madden, and 2K. So this is an S for me just because it's it's a nostalgic game. If you've never played Wii Sports, get yourself a copy of Wii Sports. Um, it is so worth it in my opinion. There's baseball,
Good luck finding a
bowling.
system.
I think there's
Yeah.
baseball, bowling, tennis, golf, and boxing. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say after that, so I would put it
I
as.
am actually okay with S because that game there sold the Wii.
Yeah.
Um, I got it. My brother-in-law played it, and then he went out and bought a Wii. So I would agree with you that that really kind of like that started the Wii, and the Wii just
Yeah,
boom.
I guess if you really think about the Wii, the first game you think of is
Wii
Wii
Sports.
Sports.
I mean the tennis, uh, Wii golf
Hmm.
or bowling.
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 That was the one.
Bowling.
Oh,
And it had the 100 mode,
no,
the
that's
100.
resort.
Oh, was that
That
Resort?
was Resort.
Oh, so Resort's an S as well. Dang it, got me on my own game.
Quick background: we played Wii Sports to the point where
Yeah.
we couldn't play. The inner circle of the disc cracked so much
Yep.
that it
Oh
broke it.
yeah,
Had to
overused the
disc.
game
I'm not
100%.
surprised by that. I mean,
So
it was incredible for when it came out and what it was. It changed the gaming world.
It
Like
did.
I don't think
Yeah.
you'd have the Switch and other things like that
No.
without that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Last one that was not on this images that it should have been was Super Smash Brothers.
Oh,
I was wondering why it wasn't
It
there.
it should have been.
Which one are we talking about?
That is a great question.
Melee.
Realistically, um, I have a hard time differentiating them. Only because, like, for example, I main Kirby, so like Kirby's been there since like basically the
He's been
beginning.
day one.
So like, I have a hard time differentiating them because my character's always been there.
Was he on your list?
Yeah, it was on my list, and I think it was on
No,
somebody
It
else's.
may have been on my
it
list.
might have been on
I
yours.
think Smash Bros was on mine.
So like, I know it was on. I know it was on movies too. Um, So yeah, so I would put that game at S only just because it's also very much okay. I say S only because of it is like if you're going to choose a
Ah,
Nintendo game, that is one of the Nintendo games you will be have in your collection because you
yes,
play it with the friends.
yes,
It is not one necessarily you play solo, it is when you play with friends. It is
yes.
like the quintessential youth group game.
I mean, it's the one that made me fail out of college. So
Yeah,
I have a really hard time putting it below an A.
I'm okay with it being S. That being said, if we're gonna get specific, it's a franchise. I'm all for it being S. If
yeah,
we get game wise,
no, I don't.
we could talk about that because
Yeah,
I hated the Wii
yep,
version.
yep,
But
yep.
as far as Smash Brothers, it can be S.
Yeah. I think and I think talk about it as a franchise versus a specific game. I
Yeah,
think it's
Because
better.
Melee was really good.
Melee was best.
The one on the Wii was trash.
Switch is fine.
The Switch is okay. There's some other.
But
The DLC adds a nice touch.
realistically, I think the biggest part is at that point you're looking more at like the number of characters versus the controls.
I know. It's kind of how I feel about the Switch version. Is
Yeah.
they're almost to the point where it's like almost too many characters,
Yeah.
especially with the DLC.
Yeah.
I think they're cool who they brought out.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I kind of agree with that too. Like,
Yeah. So yes, that would be S tier as well. I
so,
would agree with that.
but with that, this concludes then our list. This is our tier list. Thank you all for watching.
This is painful.
This has been the C4 podcast. Once again, I am Brandon,
And I'm Caleb.
and this has been Andrew and Cody as well. Thank you both for being a part of it. And
If you made it to the end of the video, comment made it to the end of the video. Because if you made it to the end of the video, we love you. This was a long video, so I will be surprised. But thank you guys
You're gonna
again
get
for
one
watching.
for sure. I know.
well, absolutely. But thank you again so much for watching. This has been the C4 podcast. Until next time, have a good one.
Yeah, have a good day, guys. Thank you for watching.